Students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having a fantastic weekend so far, and I hope it continues to be awesome. Welcome, Anna. Hi, Mingrum. Hi, Nipa. Nice to see many of our regular students and new students as well. Hi, Angel, Domenico, Elizabeth, Constellation. Great to see our members here with us today. Students, this is an IELTS Speaking Part 3, talking about vacations and travel. If you were here for our Speaking Part 2 class that ended 30 minutes ago, then you will know Part 2 cue card was about your dream vacation. I talked about Kyoto. Tatiana talked about Vancouver. Habibe, I think, talked about Kuala Lumpur. Chayani talked about Tito Island. So we had some great answers. And we are continuing on the same topic. Speaking Part 3 of the IELTS exam is an extension of Speaking Part 2. That means they will ask you questions related to traveling, dream vacations, in general. So people in general, when they go on dream vacations, when they plan to travel, what types of events, activities happen, and how do they experience the world around them, the cultures, the sights, the sounds, the foods, and so forth. So think about those as we dive deeper into this class. This class is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live classes. They have been specially designed to help you learn with these live classes and on your own when we are not in session. This is aehelp.com here with the blue background. Click that big red button that's just right above my head there. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We're an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, an IELTS test registration center, and we help thousands of students every month to succeed on their IELTS tests. So you're in great hands with us. This is the general IELTS version, gieltshelp.com. Again, click here. We're not here to teach you tricks. We're here to teach you real strategies and real tips on what you can do to improve your English and your communication for success on the IELTS. IELTS is a test made by the Cambridge ESOL Examination Board and administered, supervised by IDP and British Council. You can use the code SITAR9 on the websites for a 10% discount. You can get the apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help, from your app store. You can check us out on Instagram and now on Threads, as well as IELTS_AEHelp. And on Instagram, you can also check out our general IELTS profile, GIELTS Help. All right. Amitej Karan Singh, yes, you are visible. Okay, Akash, band 5.5, it's a solid start. Use the website, use English every day, you will improve. Okay, all right. If you wish to ask me some questions, you can always do that through email as well, everyone. As you can see, I'm looking at the chat, but I also look at email. Adrian at aehelp.com, admin at aehelp.com. We've got lots of classes for you next week. This is the last class for this week. So next week kicks off on Thursday, July 13th, one day before my birthday. We're going to have classes on my birthday too. My birthday will be on the 14th, and on the 14th, we will talk about writing and do a task 2 essay, and then we will also do listening, parts 3 and part 4, to complete that exam that we started this week. Okay, so that'll be on the 14th, which is also, of course, Bastille Day in France. Big celebrations there. Okay, students, a new video on the website. check it out. I'm going to put it into the chat. It's not my birthday yet, Nipa. You're making me feel old. Elizabeth, you're going to bring cake. I feel special already. Cheesecake, one of my favorites. FYI. Okay. So not my birthday yet. Next week on the 14th. All right. Okay, students, so let's jump into IELTS Speaking Part 3. We finished the week strong. We finish it with lots of English, lots of sentences, lots of speaking. Make sure to speak and repeat. Copy what I say, copy how I say it. For those of you who don't know me well yet, I live in Victoria, Western Canada. Not too far from Vancouver, not too far from Seattle. The west coast of North America has a very similar kind of English. So if you travel up and down the west coast, you visit San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, or Portland, Washington, or the state of Washington, I mean, Seattle, Vancouver, Victoria, you will find we all speak this kind of clear, crisp type of English. It's the English many of you are familiar with when you watch TV shows and movies on Netflix and so on. A lot of those are made here in this part of the world. Vancouver is a major, same with Victoria where I live, major producer of TV shows and movies and animations. All right. So let's do this. Let's talk about vacations and traveling. So we're going to learn through practice in this class. What that means is I will ask questions. You can put the answers in the chat for now. In a little bit, we will actually talk with students, talk with you, and I'm going to give you feedback on content, grammar, language, vocabulary, pronunciation, fluency, and I will also give you a band score estimate, tell you roughly what that is worth on the IELTS exam, and then let you know how you can improve. Okay, here we go. So the examiner says that is the end of part 2. We will now continue with part 3. For this part, I will ask you some questions related to the topic of part 2. Let's talk about vacations and traveling. In what ways can going on a vacation contribute to a person's overall well-being and happiness? Give me a nice full sentence for this one. Anahita says this. Good for you, Anahita. Good to see you in the class. This is Anahita's answer here. Anahita's in Canada. She's on the other side of Canada, in Ontario, right, Anahita? Far from me. Far from me. Like 4,000 kilometers far. But the weather's good there too, right, Anahita? Okay, Anahita says, it leads to those features when individuals are in outdoor and indoor parties or relaxing states as either they boost overall energy or unwind by tranquility. Good ideas, Anahita. Very confusing. One way to avoid confusion is to use the question, Anahita. Okay? So, Anahita, start like this. Going on vacations leads to, instead of it, the pronoun, actually use the question, use the elements of the question. Okay, so going on vacation, students in part 3 especially, part 1 also, but part 3 especially, use the question. It helps you to slow down, to be more accurate, coherent. It's a very effective way to increase your band scores. Does that make sense, everybody? So this is a really important tip. Okay, use the question in your answer. Paraphrase it if you can, but if you can't, just use the exact same words. Okay, all right. I see Anahita with a thumbs up, Elizabeth with a thumbs up. So going on vacations leads to all of these. This can be erased here, Anahita. Leads to parties or relaxing. To either boost overall energy or unwind. Okay, so Anahita, all of those words are unnecessary, awkward fillers, okay? So going on vacations leads to parties or relaxing to either boost overall energy or unwind. I think this is necessary for all people at least once a year to stay sane and be happy. This is the reason I plan to go to Vancouver this summer. Right? Anahita? Maybe. Okay, so answer, explain, example, use the question. That's what I want all of you to focus on for the next little bit. Okay, here's the answer by Constellation, another one of our channel members. Constellation, good job using the question. I can see that right away, even at a glance. So Constellation says, going on a vacation can help a person to broaden their horizon as they expose to and learn from new places, cultures, and people. On top of that, it's the best way for them to recharge their battery. Constellation, that would be about a band 7.5 to 8. Okay. We're going to correct it to a band 9 in just a second. Anahita, yours would have been about a band 5, the original. Okay. There was quite a bit of awkward language there, so be careful. All right, Constellation, yours is about a band 7.5 to a band 8. It's fairly good English. You have a nice idiomatic expression here, so it helps a person to broaden their horizon. Okay, broaden horizon means to increase the understanding of the world. Okay, so to broaden your horizon means to increase your understanding of the world or the situation. All right, so let's fix it, Constellation. There's a few mistakes here, and let's fix them. Once we fix them, it'll be a band 9, okay? So going on a vacation can help a person to broaden their horizon as they are exposed to and learn about new places, cultures, and people. On top of that, it's the best way for them to recharge their batteries. Okay. Multiple people have multiple batteries. Okay. Or if you're talking about he, she, it's still their batteries. Okay. Because it's two. He, she batteries. All right. Okay, Angel says, I always try to use it in my answer. That's good. Yeah, use it. Next question. Here we go. So again, students, when you see new vocabulary, write it down, okay? When you see my corrections, write them down. It's good to have a pencil, paper, or your keyboard in front of you for these classes. Okay, next question. How do you think the choice of destination impacts the experience of a perfect vacation? That's an interesting question. I would imagine that the place of vacation, or the place of choice for the vacation, would have a major impact on the quality of the overall experience. Okay, it's a tricky one to answer, right? So here is an answer by Mamta Parmar. Okay, Mamta, let's take a look. You've got an idea here. Let's dig into it a little bit. So Mamta says yes. If we choose any wrong destination to go for, not somewhere, but to go for vacation or a dream vacation, it impacts our life. How? Negatively, right? If we go for good place, if we go to a good place, we can gain knowledge and lots of positive experiences. Okay, so Mamta, the original here is kind of around a band 5 level, let's say. Okay, if you say it perfectly. We're improving it to a band 9 level by correcting the grammar and some words, and we have to add some content. What's the content? So if you're the examiner, if you're Mamta's examiner, right? Mamta's your candidate, and you ask Mamta, how do you think the choice of destination impacts the experience of a perfect vacation? And Mamta says, well, yes, if we choose any wrong destination to go for a dream vacation, it impacts our life negatively, but if we go to a good place, we can gain knowledge and lots of positive experiences. Okay. Then how do you, or what do you think Mamta should say to make this a better answer? What would you expect as the examiner? And the reason I'm asking you this is so you know that it's simply logic. It's not just me. It's not like Adrian said we should do this. No, it's all of you are thinking the same thing. Let's see if your fellow students are thinking the same idea. So Emran says, well, it would be nice to have an example of the wrong in the right place. And Amitej Karan says the same, says we could cite an example of the right and the wrong place, right? Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So here, what's a bad place to go for a vacation? What's a good place to go for a vacation? All right. So yes, if we choose any wrong destination to go to for a dream vacation, it impacts our life negatively. But if we go to a good place, we can gain the knowledge and lots of positive experiences, like traveling to Siberia in the middle of winter, ill-prepared, would likely not be much fun due to freezing cold temperatures. But if we are to travel to Hawaii in July, it would certainly be fun in the sun. Lots of expressions there for you. Right now it's a band 9. The examiner's like, yes, I can see that. Right? So here we go. Yes, if we choose any wrong destination to go to for a dream vacation, it impacts our life negatively. But if we go to a good place, we can gain the knowledge and lots of positive experiences, like traveling to Siberia in the middle of winter ill-prepared would likely not be much fun due to freezing cold temperatures. But if we are to travel to Hawaii in, say, July, it would certainly be fun in the sun. Okay, Mamta? So that would be your complete example. Yeah, Severe Diseases is asking this question. Can I use examples? Absolutely. Just make them smooth. Notice how I don't say for example or for instance. I just basically say it, right? Of course it is. Of course it is. You're very welcome, Mamta. Of course it's a good idea, right? You can tell. You're like, okay, that's much, much better, right? We can understand it much clearer, okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Are there any factors such as weather or seasonal events that you would consider when deciding when to go on your dream vacation? Okay, give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Now, this one too, I'm sure as many of you realize from the answer we just gave, that it's a yes. Most questions on the IELTS speaking require a yes answer. Okay, try to really, this is another tip while you're thinking about your answer, really try to avoid the no. Okay, so most answers in your speaking exam require a yes, positive thinking. Okay, really try to avoid no answers. Okay. Now, the other type of answer that you should really try to avoid, and again, this feeds into the poor suggestions that are often available online. Like Romelia brought up a really good one last class where she said, you know, is it true that the cue card questions are just kind of guiding you? No, the cue card questions they need to be answered. You need to answer them. Okay. So just like that, there's also some other bad advice on the internet for IELTS candidates. One bad advice that some instructors might give is they say it depends. So try to avoid no answers and avoid it depends answers. Okay, it depends answers are confusing. Right? Because at the end of the it depends, the listener's like, so is it a yes or is it a no? Right? Humans generally don't like conversations where it depends, right? It's like, why am I here? I could have told you that. Everything is subjective, right? So, okay, we've got lots of answers. That's great. Okay. Let's check out what you have. Maya. Maya has this answer for us. Yes, there are. Factors such as weather or season are very important to me because I do not like hot and crowdy places. So I would prefer a season with fewer people and cool weather. Okay, Maya, good. Let's correct it a little bit. So this would be about a band 6 before correction. Just looking at the content and the accuracy. Maya and everybody else, use the full question, right? So are there any factors? Yes, there are several important considerations such as weather. Okay, and then factors such as weather or season are very important to me. Sure, that works. Okay, so that's good too, Maya. Now, you can connect that. So the because, it's one here. Because I do not like hot and crowded, not crowdy, crowded places. Crowded places. Like what? Okay. Like going to St. Mark's, I think it's called Mark's Square in July in Venice with 10,000 tourists. So I prefer, not I would prefer, just I prefer. So I prefer a season with fewer people and cooler weather. So Maya, when you have relative fewer, then the next adjective has to also be a relative. So cooler, fewer, cooler weather. So prefer a season with fewer people and cooler weather. Okay. Like going to Venice in May, right? Okay, May or September, let's say. All right. So that would be it. Don't forget your examples. Examples are really important, especially in this case, because there are so many examples of traveling and tourism, right? Okay. All right. So Maya, yes, there are factors such as weather or season are very important to me because I do not like hot and crowded places, like going to St. Mark's Square in July in Venice with 10,000 tourists. So I prefer a season with fewer people and cooler weather, like going to Venice in May or September. Okay. All right. Adele has this answer for us. Adele says, well, we have to plan our vacation ahead. So we should take into consideration the weather, as for instance, it is not a good idea to visit Norway if we are not a fan of snow in the winter months, because it gets at least a meter each year in this season. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, very good. Just a little bit more, right? Okay, all right. Nipa has this answer. Nipa says, so this is the most important thing to think about when you're planning for a vacation. I prefer knowing the weather of the vacation spots before going. It helps me to get ready for the holiday. There's a couple important mistakes here, Nipa. Okay. First of all, red flag words, thing and you. Okay. Very important tip here, everybody, when you're in your IELTS speaking and in your writing. Okay. And this is also true for academic, business, professional as well. Okay. So in IELTS, speaking and writing, except general IELTS writing task 1. There it's a little bit different. General IELTS writing task 1, it's often a first to second person narrative piece that you have to use you in that. Check out the General IELTS website that we have for that one for more information. So except for General IELTS task 1, in task 2 and in your speaking, okay, avoid the word thing. That's true for General IELTS task 1 as well. And avoid the word you. Okay. All right. The word thing and stuff have no meaning. They're replacement words. Okay. The word you implies that you are speaking directly about the examiner or your audience, your reader, right? Generally, it's not a good idea unless you're giving instructions. Like I'm using you a lot in my speaking. That's because I am actually speaking to you, the IELTS candidate. I'm giving you instructions, okay? If you're not giving instructions directly to the person, then avoid you, okay? So Nipa, so this is the most important factor consideration. Okay. Much better, right? To think about when a tourist, not the examiner, not you, right? But a tourist is planning for a vacation. Okay. I prefer knowing the weather of the vacation spots before going, as this helps me get ready for the holiday, like deciding whether to pack my swimming shorts or my winter jacket. Okay, again, a little more for that band 8, band 9, right? A little more, all right? And I know sometimes that little more doesn't fit into the YouTube chat, but you want that little more, okay? So little more, all right? And it's a 9, okay? All right. Yeah, Tula, no use of second person in IELTS writing. Absolutely. Unless it's general IELTS task 1. Nipa, you're very welcome. Okay. Pay attention. Details. Details increase band scores. Okay. All right. So far, everybody, you're doing great. You're doing fantastic. So let's get into volunteering. Let's finish the week strong with lots of speaking. To volunteer for speaking, you will have a chance now to actually talk to me and practice your English for real. To do that, go to the website, aehelp.com. It's free. Don't panic. Don't be like, oh, this is where I have to pay. No, you don't have to pay. This is still free. Go to the website, aehelp.com. Although if you want to use the premium version of the course, then by all means buy it. It's the big red button right there. One payment, lifetime access. But you can try it for free as well by clicking the green button, the try demo. And you can use the speaking function for free all the time. Okay? All right. So you go to the My Student account. And in your My Student account at aehelp.com or gieltshelp.com, you've got your computer-based practice exams. Now, all of these features you only have in the premium version, but you have some features in the demo version as well. You have this feature in both the student partner speaking. So click on the student partner speaking there. Have a good internet connection, microphone, headset. Pretty good idea to have that. Okay. Click on accept, start speaking. Okay, and you will see lots and lots of your peers in here. We've got Shukdeep, Mohammed, Sumar, Min, Angel, Shiva, Anna, and many, 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 many more, which is lovely to see. Anahita, nice to see. Okay, great. So I'll randomly take some volunteers in this class. Anna, we haven't heard from you in a while. Anna's a premium student of ours. Let's give her a chance. Anna, are you ready? If you're there, let me know. Anna says yes. Okay, Anna, here we go. Hi, Anna.
Hello. Hello. Just a minute. I will mute YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you hear me well?
I can, Anna. Anna, you're in a Scandinavian country right now, aren't you?
No, I am not in Scandinavia. I'm in war. I'm in war. I'm in Ukraine.
Oh,
I
you're...
wanted to immigrate.
Okay, okay.
So-
Somebody else I was thinking about that. No, there's one of our Ukrainian students is, I think, in Norway or something like that, who volunteers. But it's not you, Anna. You're still in the Ukraine, but your
Yeah, no,
goal is
no.
to go somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I'm still in Ukraine because my father had very bad health condition and I can't leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
He needs like take care, and I'm still in Ukraine, like COVID, this difficult situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, stay the course. It's very commendable that you're looking after your dad. I have two daughters, and I know that that would mean a lot to me if I were him. So that's very kind of you, Anna. All right. Well, Anna, English is awesome to improve whatever you're doing for now and for the future. So let's get into a few questions. Are you ready?
Yes, sure, I'm ready.
Okay, then let's do it. Before I get into these questions, let me ask you, where is your dream vacation destination?
Well, I'm really into to visit Greece, especially the southern part of the Greece, some islands such as Peloponnese or Skiathos. I found this very beautiful, like geographically, it's very beautiful, and it has like also some historical monuments and buildings which I want to see
Okay, so the
as
Greek
well. No,
islands. I've been to the Greek islands, a couple of them. I've been to Santorini and a couple other ones, Eos. I really enjoyed it. Greek islands are beautiful. Absolutely, good spot, good choice.
yeah, I was in a materic. I was in a materic in Greece, but never been in the island.
Check out the islands. Yeah, they're great. Okay, here we go. A couple of questions. Let's talk about vacations and traveling. In what ways can going on a vacation contribute to a person's overall well being and happiness?
Well, in my opinion, it could be some ways. First of all, it will bring to people joy and freedom if they if they choose the picture before ISIS. It will help them mentally and psychologically. And when they go abroad, they also will have a chance to discover a new culture and try to make new connections with other people as well. And another way it
How
could
do you
be
think
visited.
how do you think the choice of destination impacts the experience of a perfect vacation?
Well, in my opinion, it has a big impact because when people choose a country, they first of all will see the geographical location and the food and also services and most of people wanna visit some unique and tropical countries such as Bali or Spain, Iceland as well, and they believe if they go to the Spain island, they will be happier than they were before.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm just typing. I'm catching up with my thoughts, and you're speaking so
Mhm.
quickly and fluently that it takes me a second to catch up to you, and and get all of my thoughts collected. Anna, you have good English. Okay, you're going to get a 6.5 probably with this kind of English. No problem. Any day, twice on Sunday. Okay, you'll get a 6.5 between fluent and good. So 6.5, 6.5. But I think you should be getting a better mark. I think with your English, you should get at least a band 7, maybe even a 7.5, even a band 8. Okay. So you should be getting between the good to very good English with your knowledge and experience of English. But most examiners with these answers will not give it to you, Anna. Okay. And the reason why
Mhm.
is because you're rushing. You're still rushing. And I think I've said this to you before. You're going too fast. And because you're going too fast, some of what you're saying starts to fall apart. It doesn't make sense. The content and the
Mhm.
grammar, the language, and the intonation is off. So just like Chayani did in the last class, I'm not sure if you were in the last class or if you were present, but
I was. I
okay.
was. I was.
And I'm not sure if you've heard Chayani on different occasions, but this last class, she spoke much, well, I would say about 10% slower, and that really had a positive impact on her intonation and just on the content, on the accuracy. Let me just pick at one really quickly here for you to kind of make you smile about this. You were moving along, rushing to answer this question, how do you think the choice of destination? And you said most people will visit tropical countries like Belize and Iceland. Iceland.
I get, yeah. Iceland over Spain. Spain, Iceland.
Iceland is not a
Yeah.
tropical. It's not a tropical country.
Yeah.
Iceland.
Okay.
It's called Iceland, right? It's the land of ice.
Okay. Yeah.
You made me smile,
Yeah.
Anna.
I
I'm
get.
like, Iceland, tropical country.
Yeah.
Isn't that like where the Vikings froze to death? So, so if you're not rushing so much, you probably realize that you're like, okay, Iceland, not a
Okay.
tropical country, right? So that makes the examiner wonder, like, does this candidate know the meaning of tropical, right? So, and I think you
Yeah.
do. I think you do know the meaning of tropical, but I think your brain is rushing so quickly to
Yeah.
try to stay fluent that you're
Probably.
making these awkward kind of mistakes, and you make those in some of the word choice and grammatical areas of your communication as well. So Anna, I want you to speak slower, more accurately. Once you speak more accurately, a bit slower, then pick up the speed. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So more attention to content, more attention to accuracy. Okay.
Yes, I am
Also,
practicing with Indian people, and they are speaking really fast. I practice with my friend from India, and he is really speaking fast.
okay, that brings me to a
Mhm.
very important tip for everybody. Okay, so listen up, everyone, because this is a very important tip for everybody. Do not let the other person in a nexus means in the communication or conversation, dictate your speed. Okay, this is very, very important advice because some examiners speak quickly. And some examiners speak a lot slower. So different people have different speeds of communication, and depending on your examiner, Anna, in the IELTS exam, you could have an examiner who's like this, and I've seen both. So I've seen examiners that do this. How do you think the choice of destination impacts the experience of a perfect vacation? And it's just like, whoa, did you really just ask me that quickly? And some examiners are that fast. They will ask questions that quickly. And then other examiners will ask questions like this. How do you think the choice of destination impacts the experience of a perfect vacation? So they have a lot more pauses, enunciation in their diction. Diction is the style of language, right? I'm sure, as you know, Anna, when people are speaking Ukrainian around you, there's some people who speak much faster, and there's people who speak fairly slowly in
Yeah,
comparison, right?
in different, yes,
Yeah, and it's human
in different
nature.
speed.
Absolutely. So a very, very, very important tip for the IELTS exam is you have to know what is your speed. What is your optimal speed? And when I say optimal speed, it means the speed at which you have a perfect balance of accurate grammar, language, vocabulary, intonation. And for instance, Chayani in the last class, I think nailed that perfect speed for her, where we have the maximum coherence with that speed, right? So you must stay with your quote unquote perfect speed that maximizes your coherence, meaning the ability of the other person to understand you. Does that make sense, Anna?
Yes, it makes sense. And
Okay.
my problems with coherence because of fast speech.
Yeah, so I think your pronunciation is okay, but I think that your grammar, your content is suffering because you're speaking too quickly. Like, let me give you another interesting example of that. Okay, so when I asked you in what ways can going on vacation contribute to a person's overall well-being, you said, well, in my opinion, right? Okay. And then when I asked you the next question, how do you think the choice of destination impacts the experience? You said, well, in my opinion. Okay. So you
Okay.
repeated. And the reason why is because it's like your jump start. It's like when you say, well, in my opinion, then you just talk very quickly, right? So instead,
Yeah.
one way to slow yourself, Anna, is to always use a different leading expression. So if you started with, well, in my opinion, for the first answer, definitely for the next answer, think about a different way to start. And that already will kind of
Actually,
slow you down.
actually,
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 is okay. What's another way to say, in my opinion?
uh, in my point of view, as I am
From
concerned,
my point of view.
from my point of view, yes.
Okay, from my point of view, or according to me is a very nice simple one. According to me.
For me,
Okay,
for me,
for me,
personally, for me.
the way I see it. Okay, can you repeat after me? The
Yeah,
way I see it.
the way I see,
The
the
way
way I
I
see it,
see it.
the way I see it,
The way I see it, it has a big impact on a person's overall experience.
the way I see it, it has a big impact on a person's experience,
Perfect.
overall
Okay.
experience.
Good. Good. That's accurate. That's the kind of language I want you to produce. Okay. All right. So more accuracy, less speed, better content, and you are on the right path. Don't let the other person dictate your speed. Okay. All right.
Okay, because from time to time I start slowly, but when person starts speaking with me very fast, I also like change speed and
It's
all
in our
speaking.
nature. Our nature tells us to match the speed of the other person because we naturally feel like we're in competition with our listener for information, but we have to consciously control that. So as you can imagine, Anna, I hear so many different speeds and styles and dictions throughout these classes, so I have to constantly reflect on how quickly I'm speaking, what I'm saying, when I'm saying it, and I'm always thinking about my speed, my content, not what the other person's doing. So you have to do that as well. Okay, Anna?
Yeah, sure. I will improve. I will reduce the speed. I
Reduce the
promise it
speed.
for you.
Find
Yes,
that
yes.
balance. Find that sweet spot. It's called the sweet spot. Find that sweet spot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Anna. Otherwise, fairly
Yeah.
good answers.
Okay.
All right. Have a great
Yes,
rest
thank
of
you
your
for giving
day.
me a chance. I tried to ask ChatGPT about it, and it gives me like academical answer for this, and I feel confused. And like in my, in my words, I explain how I understand this question because ChatGPT has another response of these questions. I try to ask it
Yeah.
about this question. Yeah.
You have to ask it the right question, right? So careful with that. But it's a good start. So, Anna, have a lovely rest of your weekend and we'll chat again soon, okay?
Okay. Thank you very much for giving me a chance.
You're
And
very,
good
very welcome.
goodbye.
Goodbye. All right. That was great. Very nice. Let's try somebody else here. Min, good to see you. I believe Min has not chatted in quite some time. So, Min, are you ready? Let's give Min a chance. Lots of important tips there, everybody. So hopefully you caught most of those, all right? Coherence. It's not, some people think fluency and speed is the most important. It's not. Coherence is the most important on the IELTS, meaning clarity, understanding, okay? Look at all those thumbs up for Anna. That's great.
Hello.
Hi, Min.
Yes.
How-
It's really nice to meet you. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Min, have we spoken before?
No, actually, this is my first time talking with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm pretty sure I have spoken with a Min before, but it must have been a different Min. Min's a pretty popular name, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
There's a few people with that name. All right, Min, may I ask, where are you?
I'm from Vietnam, which is a quite popular country. I think you've heard about that country before,
Oh
have
yeah,
you?
we have lots of students from Vietnam. Constellations from there, Phuong is from there. Some of our members are from there. Absolutely. I was very close to Vietnam once, but I never went there. Maybe one day I'll visit there. Min, why are you taking the IELTS exam?
Well, simply because I want to secure a place in some sort of like top-notch university in my country.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, IELTS certificate. Uh, I mean, I can take advantage of such certificate alone. Yeah, in order to
Yeah.
fulfill my dream.
Absolutely. And I know that Vietnam has this requirement for a lot of the universities, the IELTS in
Mm-hmm.
English. And that's a good motivating factor.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should keep in mind though that the main reason to learn English is just so you can talk to the world. You can literally that's what it means. Like when you can speak English well, you can talk to the world. So the world becomes your village, and that's just great
Yeah.
to have, right? When you're
Mm-hmm.
traveling, doing business, anything like that. All right, Min, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions for speaking part 3. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
ready.
All right, let's talk about vacations and traveling. Are there any factors such as weather or seasonal events that you would consider when deciding when to go on your dream vacation?
Um, well, from my personal perspective, there are some sort of like seasonal uh, factors that are quite important in order to make the decisions about destinations that I want to go for a dream vacations. Um, like take for example, traveling to Japan's. It's more likely to say that um, traveling to theirs in spring would be a great idea due to the outstandingly beautiful flowers and great atmosphere as well.
Okay, let me ask you one more. What are some potential benefits of traveling with companions on a dream vacation?
It seemed to me that actually a tourist can fully take advantage of their companions, especially the one who have a large, no, a huge, massive knowledge about travelings and some sort of, um, well, yeah, knowledge about travelings, or ones who can actually uh, understand the language of maps in order to find uh, the the best direction to the destinations. Actually, when I traveled to Japan, one of my friends come with me in order to find some like the best ways in order to get to some sort of traditional food restaurants in here. To
Okay.
yeah,
Let's
so
stop there. That was good. All right. Okay. Okay, that was really good. All right. Min, excellent. First time. I can tell you're a little bit nervous, but I could also tell that your brain was working really well and you were putting together the sentences, the ideas, the words. Um,
yeah.
and I it seems like you were really paying attention to the class. So you're really paying attention to giving an answer, an explanation, an example, and it's very
Mhm.
nice and smooth. And really interesting because, I just spoke with Anna about, speaking too quickly and kind of losing the context or the accuracy of the language.
Mhm.
And you were completely the other direction. So you spoke quite slowly and methodically. So you kind of
Mhm.
spoke, slow and really thought through your words about what to
Yeah.
say next and how to connect and elaborate on the idea by adding adjectives and adverbs to make your language more colorful. And you were doing a good job. Now, You went too far the other direction. So
Yeah.
you were too slow and methodical. So remember what I said to Anna about finding that happy balance of not too fast but not too slow, and that's what you should aim for, is that happy middle. Okay.
Yeah.
However, and Anna, if you're listening, this is important. However, if we have to choose one, so if we're going with Anna's direction where it's very quick and sometimes confusing, or we're going with Min's direction where it's much slower and more methodical, Min, this direction is better. So it's better to be slow and methodical and really thinking through each sentence than to be really fast and confusing. You might get interrupted. The examiner might not be patient enough to listen to your full answer, but you're still picking up a lot more for coherence, so for the clarity of your answer. Okay. And I noticed that you chose, different leading expressions. Like here you said, well, it seems to me that. In the previous one, you started by saying, well, from my personal perspective. So you're using more range of vocabulary as you're being slower and more methodical. However, it's a little overkill. Okay. So Min, for you, speed up a little bit, take out some of the filler. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, from my perspective, you don't need personal perspective because my is a personal perspective. So from my perspective, there are some seasonal factors. You said sort of seasonal factors. You don't need to say sort of. Some seasonal factors that are quite important to make the decisions about destinations, to decide where to go. Okay. So just a little bit faster, okay? A little bit more, little bit more concise, and then you'll be able to get more content and higher scores. So it really is that balance, right? Like finding that sweet spot. So just repeat after me. Well, from my perspective, there are some seasonal factors that are quite important to decide where to go for my dream vacation. Try repeating me, Min. Well, from my perspective, there are some seasonal factors that are quite important for me to decide where to go for my dream vacation.
Well, from my perspective, there are some seasonal factors that are quite important to decide where to go for dream vacations.
Traveling to Japan in the spring would be a great idea to see the beautiful flowers, especially the cherry blossoms.
Traveling to Japan in spring. Okay, just wait a second. Let me load the
I'll say it one more time.
descriptions.
I'll say it one more time. Traveling to Japan in the spring would be a great idea to see the beautiful flowers, especially the cherry blossoms.
Traveling to Japan in spring could be the great idea to see the cherry flowers, and great
Cherry blossoms.
Cherry blossoms.
Yeah, the sakura is called the cherry blossom in English. Okay, so cherry blossom. All right. By the way, Vancouver, Victoria, where I live, has even more beautiful cherry blossoms in the spring, so you should come here. But anyway, so a little bit faster, a little bit more concise. So if you're one of those students who is kind of like Min, that really draws out the language, then try to be concise, try to be a little bit faster. If you're more like Anna, where you're speaking very, very quickly and you start to lose what you're saying, then speak a little bit slowly or slower, okay? So find that sweet spot. Min, overall, you would, like I say, get a solid 6.5, maybe even a 7 for that, just simply because your coherence is higher. So I clearly do understand what you're saying, okay? All right. Min, thank you so much for volunteering. I hope you come back again.
Yeah, thanks for having me today.
You're most welcome.
Yes. So see ya. Bye.
Bye, Min. All right, let's give Min a thumbs up first time, right? First time, it's an extra layer of difficulty. By the way, Min, if you're still listening to me, wonderful pronunciation. I know that pronunciation can be quite challenging for Vietnamese speakers. And I think you have some good pronunciation, very clear pronunciation. You kind of have a slight British accent as well, which was really nice. Okay, Pritam is a premium student. Let's see, and we've never heard from Pritam. Let's try to give some students a chance who we haven't heard from, some newbies. Pritam, are you there? Thank you for all the thumbs up there, everybody. That's great. It's good to support each other. Hey, Chen, our moderator jumped in on the class. Hi, Chen. You can ask Chen some questions too if you have them. Chen's been a student of ours for quite some time. All right, Pritam, if you're still there, give me a sign. I know there's a few second delay, so I'll wait. Here we go. Hi, Pritam.
Hello, sir.
How are you? Pritam, listen to me through the website, not through YouTube. YouTube has a 6 to 7 second delay, so turn the audio off of YouTube by clicking the little speaker icon, and then talk to me through the microphone and the website. Okay?
Yes, sir. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are. Okay. Did you you turned off YouTube audio? Yes.
Yes, sir. I did.
Perfect. All right, Pritam, where are you?
Sir, I'm from Maharashtra, India.
Maharashtra, India. That's a very historical place, Pritam, and beautiful. Pritam, what is the best season to visit Maharashtra?
The beauty rises in the rainy season, which is the ongoing season, and it's green everywhere. You will find the waterfalls and lots of greenery.
Okay, so what you're saying is now is a good time to go to Maharashtra?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
so summertime. When is a bad season to go to Maharashtra?
Actually, the good season to visit Maharashtra is rainy season, and the bad season to visit Maharashtra is, I think, summers, because there is a lot of dryness everywhere.
Oh, okay. And what do you consider the summer months? So what are the driest months?
They are May and actually April and May.
April, May are the dry months. Okay. All right. Got it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good to know. I'm writing these down in my head. One day when I have the chance, I will maybe travel to India and check out Maharashtra. All right. Well, let me ask you a couple of part 3 questions. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here we go. Do you think it is important to strike a balance between planned activities and relaxation time during a vacation? Why or why not?
Yes, I think there should be some plan before you go for a vacation, because there are certain destinations which you have to consider the parameters, like what is the weather, how to go there, and what are the attractions where you can visit and enjoy and have fun with your nearest and dearest.
How do you think participating in new and adventurous activities during a trip can enhance the overall experience?
Yes, I think it really give a great experience by exploring the things you have never done. That's the best part, I think, to experience the adventurous things.
All right, let's stop there for a second. So that would be about a band 5.5 because
Actually,
you got stuck a couple of times and I didn't quite get an answer. I'm going to explain that in a second. So I got an answer, but not clearly. Okay. I think you can do better. So I think, this is first time volunteering. That's fine. I can see you're a premium
Yes.
student, so make sure that you're using the course, watching the videos. You saw me probably say this earlier. Don't use the word things, right? Especially when you start using it 2, 3, 4 times. It starts to really make the answer confusing because your listeners just thinking, what thing is he talking about, right? So we need
Yes.
to avoid that. Also, make sure that you answer the question. You don't lose the question. This first question that I asked you, you kind of lost the question. So the question was, do you think it's important to strike a balance? And I felt that you understood the question. So I felt like, okay, he understands the question. So you said
Yeah.
the balance between planned activities and relaxation time. And then you said, yes, I think there should be some plan before you go on vacation. Now remember, don't say you, right? So
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
people, right? Go for
Got it.
vacation. But then you kind of forgot the question. The question is asking balance between planned activities and relaxation time, and you just started to kind of focus on planned activity. You said because there are
Right.
certain destinations where you have to consider the parameters like weather. Okay, but what about the relaxation time and what about the balance, right? So you kind of forgot about that, and that's why I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay, well, I can't really give you a 7 or a 6 even because you're not really answering the question. So do you want to try this question one more time before I give you help? You can. I think you can give me a better answer before I help you out. Let's try it again. Here, let me ask you again. Do you think it's
Yes.
important to strike a balance between planned activities and relaxation time during a vacation?
Yes, I think we should. I think it's a good idea to have a balance between uh, a, a relaxation time and planning your activities uh, on what you are going to do on your vacations. Uh, it is important to uh, make a good plan of your trips and what are you going to do there, your budget and all. And rather than that, it is most important to have a good time uh, to uh,
Okay, you're doing good.
to
All right, I'll stop you there and I'll give you some help. But just to
yeah.
kind of reflect, that answer is still better than your first answer. Why? Because
Okay.
it's a more accurate answer. So even though
Yeah.
you weren't able to complete your answer, you're actually answering the question. And the big
Okay.
difference, notice the big difference, and this is an important tip for everybody. The reason the second answer was better is because the start was better. So in the second time, you actually started with the main idea of the question. You said, I think it is important to have balance between relaxation, right? So that's how you started. Okay.
Yeah, actually, it's very first time I am interacting with you,
Yeah, no, I
and
get that.
I'm recently active on this website as well as watching your videos on YouTube.
You're doing
So
great.
yeah,
You're doing great. You're doing great. And you're helping
thank
other people, by the way, because other people make the same mistake. So your first um, answer, it was close, but it was a little bit off. So you said, yes, I think there should be some plan before, right? And because you focused on the plan instead of the balance, you kind of went off topic. But in your
yeah,
second answer, because you focused on the balance, you stayed on topic. So that's why it's so important in part 1, 2, and 3. When you're looking at the questions, make sure that you start with the correct topic. In this case, the
yeah.
keyword being balance, right? So, and don't overthink it. Sometimes these IELTS questions, they seem really tricky or weird,
Right.
but you just have to keep it simple. So I think it is important to have balance between relaxation time and planning activities. Don't use the word your. Planning helps to stay within budget
Yeah.
while maximizing time. But
Yeah.
it is also necessary to rest and recharge batteries while on a holiday. Okay, and then you can jump to an example like when I went to Goa. I planned to visit the markets,
Yeah.
and I also just relaxed on the beach. Okay, so
Yeah.
Simple now, and I always tell everybody this. I'm not trying to be arrogant here. So simple is not easy. It's not always easy to think simple. But once you train yourself to think simple or simply about these questions, then they will become that. So this is your answer kind of changed. Okay, listen to me and then repeat me. So I think it's important to have balance between relaxation time and planning activities. Planning helps to stay in budget and maximize time, but it's also necessary to just rest and recharge batteries. Like when I went to Goa, I planned to visit the markets, and I also just chilled out on the beach. Okay, so do you think it's important to strike a balance between relaxation time and planned activities?
Yes, I think it is very important to have a um, balance between your plans and relaxation times. Uh, like planning your trips helps you to uh, be in your budget and decide a proper destination, and relaxation, having taking breaks from your any workload. It is a good idea to sit down and enjoy the nature.
Don't forget your example, like when I went to Goa.
Like, yeah, like when I went to Goa, it was really relaxing to sit on the beach and experience and talk with your friends.
Okay. Now, just as you're practicing, as you're improving your speaking, one aspect that I want you to really pay attention to is stop saying you and your. So no you, no your. Okay? I want you to try to
Okay.
completely eliminate the you and the your from your communication, especially when you're not actually talking about your listener. Okay?
Yes, yes, got it.
All right. Otherwise, quite good. Okay. Thank you so much,
Thank
Pratam. Thank you for being a premium student, and have an awesome rest of the day. Come back again in the future. Volunteer again. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, Pratam.
Bye, sir.
Very studious. I can tell he's a very, very studious person. So good for you, Pratam. Thumbs up, everybody. Yes, look at that. Mensage, big thumbs up there. Triple thumbs up. Angel's got like 7 of them for you. It's my thumb, actually. All right, great. Lee, let's try Lee. I don't know if we've ever spoken to Lee before. Are you ready, Lee? Hopefully. Ooh, lots of volunteers. That's fantastic. By the way, students, this interface is for you to chat with each other primarily. Okay, so the main goal of this chat interface is not to talk to Adrian. It's good for these live classes, but the main idea of this interface is for you to connect with each other. Everybody in here, I believe, is an IELTS student. Don't share personal information. Stick to IELTS. Contact each other. Say, hey, do you want to practice some sentences? And then you've got some choices up there for questions. All right, Lee. Meanwhile, I see you're here.
Sir?
Hi, Lee.
Hi, Adrian. Before we start this talk, I want to send my regards to you because we speak before, and thanks to your advices on my previous speaking section, I managed to get a 6.5 in speaking.
Nice, Lee. Thank you
So,
for
so
that
thank you
feedback.
very much.
I appreciate that. You're very welcome, and I appreciate the feedback. That's great. That's a very nice way to open the conversation. Good for you. And 6.5, that's solid. That's great. Lee, may I ask, what were your topics? Do you remember what your speaking topics were on your test?
I couldn't remember, but I remembered my part one was mainly about chocolate. Part two was about a popular inventor that I know,
Mm-hmm.
and part three, I believe it was about modern inventors or something. I can't remember,
Okay.
but
That's great. That's lots. So part one, chocolates, interesting, right? We all love, most of us anyway, love chocolate. And so part two, an inventor that you know. So it was a person. It was a person topic. Who did you talk
yeah.
about? Do you remember who you spoke about?
I believe I talk about Nicholas Tesla.
Okay. All right. Tesla, sure.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much the only person I know that is famous, of course.
Okay. Talking about the invention of the generator, maybe then, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Lee. Cool. Well, and so are you planning to take the IELTS again?
Yes.
Why?
I want to improve my band score so I can get a better shot at getting into my dream university.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, that's it's a good way to do it. Don't give up, and identify your weaknesses. Focus on your weaknesses. So very smart. Okay, Lee, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Are you ready?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay. How do you think an international vacation can broaden a person's perspective and understanding of different cultures and lifestyles?
I believe that traveling across the world in our vacations help to broaden our mind about the people, the culture, and overall the location that we choose to travel in. Uh, as a matter of fact, we don't often enjoy anything other than the scenery, the food, and the entertainment from our vacations. Therefore, we often fail to appreciate the true value of everything else in it.
What role does budget and financial planning play in making a dream vacation a reality?
It, in my opinion, it plays an integral role in planning our dream vacations because in our world today, vacations and everything in general runs on a very tight budget, and we often don't have enough to embark on our vacation. Therefore, it definitely should be taken into consideration for us to uh, get a decent amount of income to prepare for our vacations.
Okay, nice. That is the end of part 3. That concludes the speaking section of the exam. Okay, Lee, the examiner, as you know, will not say nice. They'll just say that is the end of part 3. They're not allowed to say nice or good or great.
Oh, wait,
or
that's
bad.
it?
Yeah, that was just 2 questions that I wanted to ask. That's it. I'm going to give you feedback. You don't go anywhere yet.
Okay.
So, 6.5 I think is fair. I do think it's on the low side or the low end of your assessment. Many IELTS examiners will often choose the low end. So I think on a high end, you're a 7. I think on a low end, you're a 6.5. But I do think that you're, in actuality, a 7.5. Okay? So based on your grammatical accuracy and your lexical resource, I think that 7.5 is within reach for you. So you should be able to get a 7.5 without too much difficulty, let's say, or without too much practice. So the IELTS speaking is broken down as fluency and coherence, grammatical range and accuracy, lexical resource.
Okay.
I'm explaining this obviously to you, Lee, but I'm using your situation to explain this to everybody else as well. And pronunciation. Now, these criteria are not separate. They're kind of connected to each other. So the most important is coherence. How well do you answer the question? How well do I understand you? Okay. All of the other aspects, fluency, lexical resource, which is vocabulary, grammatical range, accuracy, pronunciation, they all connect to coherence. How well do I understand you? Your pronunciation is like a band 8 to 9. Okay, I can understand you very clearly. I have no problem understanding your words. I don't have to give extra energy or focus, or I don't go huh or what. It's really clear. Your lexical resource for me is easily a band 8. Okay, you use some very nice natural expressions correctly in context, like very tight budget. Okay, this collocation, for instance, tight budget. Okay, or definitely be taken into consideration. A very nice phrase. Okay. Traveling across the world on our vacations. Slight preposition mistakes, but not a big deal. Overall, it's very good. Broaden our mind. Again, a very good expression. Okay. So your lexical resource, easily a band 8. Okay. Grammatical range and accuracy, I think, is a 7 to 8 as well. So just for these 2 questions, I could tell that, you're quite confident in your grammar. It's quite accurate. Just some small mistakes with preposition here and there, a little bit of mistake here and there with word form potentially, but nothing major. Okay. Your fluency is about a band, let's say 7 to 8. Okay. Because you're speaking continuously, but I do feel that when you're trying to express yourself clearly, then it does slow you down a bit. So you do have to give an extra pause, so I can't give you an expert level there, but 7 to 8 is very good. It's your coherence where you're losing a lot of your marks. So your coherence is about a 5. Okay. And that 5 drops all of these other marks to that 6.5. Does that make sense, Lee?
Yeah.
So your coherence 5 pulls all of those 7s, 8s, and even that potential 9 in pronunciation. It pulls all of them down to a 6.5. Okay. And let me show you why, Lee. So when I say, how do you think an international vacation can broaden a person's perspective and understanding of different cultures? You said, I believe that traveling across the world on our vacations helps to broaden our mind about culture. Why? You didn't tell me why, and you didn't really tell me how. And because those are missing, you're not really giving me a full answer. So let me ask you piece by piece, and then we'll put it together, Lee. So
Okay.
Why? Why does an international vacation broaden a person's perspective?
Because it introduces them to the like traditions as well as the people in the location they choose to travel with.
Okay, now give me the answer to the how. When you're thinking about the how, then just simply think about an example of how culture is introduced, like a real life example. Okay, and you can use your context. Are you in Vietnam right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so use Vietnam as an example of how culture can be introduced to a tourist traveling to Vietnam. Just start by saying, like a tourist from the US visiting Vietnam.
Can you give the example, please? I can't
Yeah,
really think of
sure.
any.
So I would say something like a tourist traveling from Canada to Vietnam will quickly learn that Vietnamese people are very respectful, hardworking, and make a truly delicious pho, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So give me an example. You can choose a different place if you want.
Okay. So most, I'm just gonna say it like the same way you say it. Most American tourists who come to Vietnam often see the enthusiasm as well as the friendliness of the Vietnamese people, as well as enjoying its food and scenery. Is that it?
Yeah, works. Sure. So that would be your answer. And as long as you're producing those answer, explain, example clearly, you're going to get better than a 6.5. I promise you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Because I guarantee that your lexical resource, your grammatical range are higher than a 6.5. So you just have to use it a bit more effectively in your answers. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So here's your full answer. I believe that traveling across the world on our vacations helps to broaden our mind about culture because it introduces people to traditions and customs, clothing, and food. Like most American tourists who come to Vietnam often see the enthusiasm and friendliness of the local people. Right? Got it?
Yeah.
You want to try it?
Like, do I want to like continue the answer or
No,
like,
just try repeating what I just said, just so you get a kind of
okay.
a clear idea. Go for it. How do you think
Okay, I love
an
it.
international vacation can broaden a person's perspective and understanding of different cultures and lifestyles?
I believe that.
Mhm.
Can you repeat?
Yeah, I'll do it one more time. I believe that traveling across the world on vacations helps to broaden our mind about culture because it introduces traditions, food, and customs. Like most American tourists who come to Vietnam often see the enthusiasm and friendliness of the local people.
Okay. I believe that traveling across the world on our vacations helps to broaden our mind about the culture because it introduces them to traditions as well as the people in Vietnam. Like how most people, like how most American tourists who come to Vietnam often see the enthusiasm and friendliness of the local people, as well as some other factors that I will mention in my real IELTS exam.
Okay. All right. I like how you didn't give up, how you finished that sentence. So, Lee, context, okay? Better context will make it more coherent and will give you a higher score than a 6.5, okay?
Okay.
All right. Keep practicing that, Lee, and keep coming back and keep checking in with me to make sure that you're reaching your target, okay?
I will, sir. I will.
Okay. Sounds good. Good luck in your studies. Bye for now, Lee.
Bye, sir.
All right, that was Lee. Good job. Yeah, absolutely. Thumbs up. And again, Lee, thanks for sharing your experience with the students, right? And I think it reminds people not to kind of try to guess their exams. That's another silly part of the internet where it's like, predict your next exam. Really? Did you predict that part one of the next exam is going to be about chocolate? I don't think so. Okay. So stay away from silly strategies and information. Focus on logic, focus on structure, focus on the principles of good communication, and practice that with each other in this chat interface, okay? You're all beautiful, happy, smiley people around the world, and you should practice with each other, okay? That's what this website is for. It's for you to learn. It's for you to master English. It's for you to master communication. Students, click the big red button, join our premium IELTS package, get access to all of our videos, practice exams, and so forth, okay? For general IELTS students, it's gieltshelp.com. It's this website here with the green background. Again, one-time payment, lifetime access. We help thousands of students every day, really. Thank you, Chen, for joining up late, our chat moderator. You can always ask Chen a question when you see him, or anybody who's got that kind of blue name in the chat. Thank you, members. Domenico, Adele, Mal, have a great weekend. Elizabeth, have a great weekend. Students, I'm going to be back on Thursday with speaking part 1 at about the same time. I will post the live class schedule a little bit later today within the next 24 hours. Definitely check out aehelp.com, gieltshelp.com, okay, when you have some time. That's it for me. I'm off for the next few days, but always here checking emails as well. Much love to all of you wherever you are in our beautiful world. Bye for now.